Welcome everyone to another episode of Let's Talk Special Economic Zones. I'm your host Ainsley Brown. In today's episode, we're going to talk about priority industries and special economic zones. Now, it's a little bit of a tricky subject because zones are not standard. Likewise, the priority industries are not going to be standard. But it's very important that zones do develop some level of priority. And whether this can come from either from the regime, how it's structured, whether from the legislative or regulatory level, or even within policy that comes before or after the regime has been set up. Also, it can come from the zones themselves. Now, sometimes, and this is why I said the zones are not standard, the zones can be owned by a developer that belongs to the government, and there's only that one developer. And then, so it actually, with that type of structure, it actually makes it easier to prioritize. When you have a situation where you have a regime that's set up to encourage private sector development, it's harder to direct, so to speak, the developers to prioritize. However, there's ways to set up through policy and through governance ways for that for to I don't want to use the word direct, but to streamline, if you will, or incentivize is the better term, development or developers attracting or developing their zones to attract a particular type of investment or industry that's best suited for a country or a region within a country. But before, probably in another episode, I'll get into how exactly that's developed and how or different techniques that can be used to prioritize industries. But today's focus is going to be on just the need to have priority industries, because you cannot be all things to all people. You need some level of focus if you're going to have your zones be a success. And also importantly, we don't live in a static environment. So what is priority today may not be priority tomorrow or 10, 20, 30 years from now. Particularly, zones are used as a catalyst to develop. So as you're developing, certain things that you would have counted as being a priority may not become a priority anymore, because you have moved on, either or the world has moved on. So we have to look at that as well. And if we don't shift with the world is going to move, and you might find yourself in not a very positive situation, whether you're a government or you're a private sector developer who then has an empty zone, a white elephant, so to speak. But it is very important that you look at what is best suited for a zone. So things that look at the infrastructure, the surrounding infrastructure, either that exists or is to be planned or is planned, and particularly if it's been started already. Look at the markets that you're trying to serve, whether it's the local markets, regional and international markets. There are many different things that you'd look at, and again, both the designers, the policymakers would have to look at it, and also the investors, the developers of zones, and then of course the occupants that occupy and participate in the zone would make a decision. Is this zone right for me? I'm in this industry. I should put it that way. I'm in this industry. It is a priority for these people, so they're looking to attract me. And again, they would be looking, okay, so how does this work? And it's not just about the fiscal incentives that are there. You have to look at everything, the infrastructure, right? What sense is that you give me 0% corporate income tax or 10% corporate income tax if the port doesn't work? And I'm a manufacturer or I'm an agro-processor, and I process canned carrots or canned corn, or what use is it if I can't access my raw materials from your country for whatever reason? That zone that is not suited for my needs, right? So if it is that you have decided, hey, I'm gonna go in here, there's an opportunity here to go into this industry, okay? What are the investors, what are the occupants looking for in order to attract them? What do I need to put in place to attract them? Right? So that's one of those things why priority or prioritization within industries or industry attraction is so important, because it will determine a lot of things, right down to even the design of your regime, right? So coming all the way back to the policy. So it's a back and forth. It's not, or a top. It's not just a top down. It's a bottom up. You have to have everything meet in the middle, and then you can determine your priority industries. Proprietary industries are very important for both the government, the policymakers that design zone regimes, and also the developers that invest in the development of zones, and also, of course, the occupants that operate within the zone. It's important for them because if the regime hasn't been designed for them, the infrastructure and the physical facility hasn't been designed for them, they will not come. It doesn't make sense for them to come. So if you like this episode, please like, share, comment, leave a comment down below. If you want to see me do something, a particular topic I haven't covered yet, just leave me a comment down below and I'll get right back to you.